So these are the runners and riders for the Randox Grand National of 2025. 4.25 miles these days, with a new maximum field of 34. Headed by the horse that won the race 12 months ago, I Am Maximus, partnered again by Paul Townend, one of only 2 jockeys in the race that have won it in the past. Number 2, Royal Pagaille for Charlie Deutsch, the outsider, but then Venetia Williams won with a 100-to-1 chance Mon Môme many years ago. 3 is Nick Rockett, the mount of amateur Patrick Mullins, and 4, Grange Clare West for Brian Hayes. Number 5, Hewix, won a Grand National, the USA one, as well as winning a King George. Gavin Sheehan is aboard. Number 6, Minella Indo, Rachel Blackmore aboard tour that was placed last year, former Gold Cup winner, and Rachel O'Weather already having partnered a Minella to national success with Minella Times. 7 is Appreciated, Sean O'Keefe, steps up significantly in trip. 8, Minella Kakuna will like the ground. Jonathan Burke takes the ride, one of the Willie Mullins runners. And 9 is Conflated, an outsider this time around for Jordan Gainford. 10, Stumptown, won at the Cheltenham Festival over the cross-country fences, just as Tiger Roll did before winning the National. Keith Donoghue in the saddle, and 11, Hitman. Freddie Gingell is the rider, an outsider for Paul Nicholls. 12 is Beauport, in those Corbière colours. Beauport, the beach just round the corner from the lighthouse, for which the 1983 winner was named, those same borough colours. 13, Brave Man's Game, James Reevely, come over from France to ride for Paul Nicholls. And 14, Chantry House, James Bowen. Nicky Henderson looking to end this national hoodoo. Number 15 is 3 Under Through 5 for Harry Skelton, back with Paul Nicholls for the day. And 16, the well-backed Percival Legelwa. Mark Walsh in the saddle, Gavin Cromwell looking to complete the Grand National Gold Cup double. 17, one of the greys, there are plenty of them. This is the first of 7 for Harry Cobden. And 18, Iroko, John Joe Neal Jr. past fit to ride after his crunching fall earlier in the day. 19, Intense Raffles, an Irish national winner, JJ Slevin for Tom Gibney. And 20, Senior Chief from Dara O'Keefe. 21 is Ida's Boy, recently joined Richard Phillips for the Dozen Dreamers, who will be living out their dream when this horse lines up today under Harry Bannister. 22, Field Door for Sam Ewing. And 23, Broadway Boy in the Rhiners colours, who finished 3rd behind Mr. Frisk a long time ago and came down when still in contention the following year. 24 is Cocoa Beach, another of the greys, Jodie McGarvey, 4th appearance in the National for Cocoa Beach. 25, Stay Away Faye for Paul O'Brien. And 26, Meeting of the Waters, didn't quite make it home last year. The drying ground will help him do so this time. Danny Mullins. 27, Mom Beg Genius, Nick Schofield for the O'Neills. And 28, Vanillier, runner-up a couple of seasons ago and unlucky at Cheltenham, Sean Flanagan. 29, Oronzo Derry for Michael Keedy, who has never saddled a winner over jumps. A promising young flat trainer, this bought by his landlord, Jim Gill. Number 30 is Highland, Nico de Boyne for Nicky Henderson, looking, as I say, to end this long losing sequence in the National. 31, Celebrita Len for Mihal Nolan. 32, 3-Card Bragg, just been quietly back during the course of the day for Sean Bowen. 33 is Twig, a great family story for the Morgans, bought for their sons Luca and Bo to ride, started off in point-to-points, makes it into the National under Bo Morgan. And 34, Dufflecoat for Danny Gilligan and Gordon Elliott. His namesake got no further than the first in 1977, and he rounds off the 34 runners for the Randox Grand National of 2025.
Now, if you fancy a runner in our sweepstake, you've got 20 minutes to enter. You have to be 18 or over, completely free. You'll have a horse to run for you in the National. If your horse wins, make sure you cheer it home. Then you'll go into a draw to win £50,000. Completely free to enter, but you've not got long left. It is noisy this side by the paddock. I bet it's tense and quiet in the pre-parade. Adele.
The atmosphere is just starting to build up here in the pre-parade ring. Some of the horses are already tacked up. One of them is Ida's Boy, who caught my eye. He looks absolutely magnificent today. He's a big outsider, but don't let that price put you off. He won the Mullingar Midlands National at 40-1. I had a very quick chat to his owners, the Dozen Dreamers, who were telling me he absolutely loves doing a little bit of Pilates and yoga, carrot stretches. So if you're into yoga or Pilates, Ida's Boy, I think he's the one for you.
Oh, wonderful scenes here in this betting jungle or betting bunker. You can see everybody having a wonderful time as we build up to the Randox Grand National at 4 o'clock. I hope you're enjoying it wherever you are throughout the world as much as we are here in this magic city of Liverpool. Still plenty of time to pick your selection for this year's national. I Am Maximus was 7-1 last year. He's into 6-1 to win it. You can see with Sherlock's, who were established in 1977, and that was the year Red Rum won his third Grand National in the hands of Tommy Stack at a price of 9-1. Iroko is 15-2. Percival Galwa 9-1. Stumptown for Keith Donoghue 10-1. Venelier, one of 7 greys in the race, 12-1. Hewick, the horse that cost £800, is 14-1. Manila Cocooner is 14-1. Can Do Kid 14-1. Intense Raffles 14-1. The Springer is number 32. 3-card Brack 25-1, 20-1, now into 14-1. And Willie Mullins gave favourable mention to horse number 26, Meeting of the Waters. What do you fancy? You still have time to decide.
Well, one of the smallest horses in the parade ring is coming in the pre-parade ring, and that is Hewick. Don't let his size put you off. He stands at about 16 hands, but the smallest ever winner of the Grand National was 15-1, even smaller. That horse also won the American Grand National, just like Hewick. And you know what they say about small things and big things coming in small packages. I'm only 5'2", so Hewick definitely holds a place in my heart.
Well, the party's still going on behind us. Excitement in the air. It's serious business now, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you're at the top of your sport, these are the moments. These are the moments where you want the millions, not only across Liverpool, but across the world, cheering your name come 4:10. I am so excited. I've got goosebumps, and this is what we've all been waiting for. I cannot wait.
It sure is. We've been asking you at home to send us your Grand National fancies and the reason why. So let's have a look at some of the best of those tweets now. There's always a great story behind the national winner. There sure is. None better than an 800-pound horse. That's Hewick, and that's Russ's fancy in the race. Up the Shark, his trainer, Shark Hanlon. Mark's gone for Stumptown. He's got all the stats according to Mark. Good luck to him with his fancy. Next up, the sweepstakes taking place in Lambourne. Stumptown or Rocco for Stacey. Billy's gone for Meeting of the Waters because his mum used to live by the sea. He's also back to Rocco at 20-1, a much shorter price now.
That's what the Grand National's about, isn't it?
Absolutely. And another tip for Hewick, who is a remarkable story. Just as we mentioned earlier, cost just £800. And Alex has gone for whatever number 17 is. Ultimately, there's loads of reasons why you'd find the Grand National winner, why you're siding with a horse, and it could just be a number or colours you like. What is your 1, 2, 3 in the National then?
Of course, Highland, Vanillier and Stumptown.
Okay, mine, I Am Maximus, Minella Cocooner and Vanillier. But in truth, I'd like Highland to win because you and Nikki will be dancing behind us if that's the case.
It's going to go off, but good luck to everyone and the millions across the country who are tuning in.
Yes, it's great to have you all on board. As always, stories galore in the National. Can I Am Maximus become just the 8th multiple winner in the 177th renewal of the Great Race? Hewick is looking for a unique double. He costs just £800 and has won an American Grand National. Stuart Andrew owns Nick Rockett, having been persuaded to send the horse to this man by his late wife Sadie just before she died. He could spark raw emotion. As Adele was saying, Richard Phillips and his friend John Rosbottom have dreamt of having a national runner since they were in junior school together 55 years ago. Ida's boy runs for the Dozen Dreamers. Only 3 greys have ever won the national. This year there are 7 runners, including Intense Raffles. Could it be a grey day at Aintree? Some stage. All are looking to win the People's Race.
The Grand National means to me like family, everyone around the telly. It's probably the only day of the year where everyone's cheering on a horse in my house. No other day of the year anyone's cheering on a horse. So all of us do a bet and we're all cheering on from the minute the race starts. So the way we pick it is we always buy the Echo, obviously the paper in Liverpool. And on Grand National Day, all the runners are obviously on the back page with the colours and stuff. So we would always just go for like the colours. Colours or a funny name.
Everton colours?
Liverpool colours.
My jockey says the British will be cleaning up at Cheltenham.
Yeah, picking up pint glasses.
So I walked into that one.
Paddy Power, proud sponsor. Let's play. Someone here is about to find out they've won Lotto, but who's the millionaire going to be? Maybe that guy, wondering, are crackers with the biscuits or the crisps? All in, buying a birthday card for a cat? Okay then. George is a millionaire. Get yourself a coat with sleeves. Lotto makes 2 millionaires a week on average. Will you be the next millionaire?
It's like strawberries on a summer evening. Baby, you're the end of June. I want your belly and that summer feeling. I don't know if I could ever go.
The all-electric Kia EV3. UK Car of the Year 2025. Kia. Movement that inspires.
What does heartburn and indigestion feel like to you? However you experience any of these 7 symptoms, Gaviscon Double Action neutralizes stomach acid fast and forms a barrier for long-lasting relief. For any of these 7 symptoms, think Gaviscon.
With Virgin Media, get smooth, lightning-fast M125 broadband for under £26 a month and no setup fee. Switching is simple. You do nothing, and we'll handle everything for you. Virgin Media. See what you can do.
Amazon brings the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal versus Real Madrid.
It doesn't get much better than that.
The UEFA Champions League. It's on Prime.
Hold your horses! Isn't that your man?
Yeah, you know, in from the telly. Excusez-moi, Monsieur Chapman. A selfie?
Paddy Power, proud sponsors of racing on ITV.
There's always a big event in the family because we always used to pick a horse, look at the newspapers and pick a horse. And I go back in 1973 when Crisp was leading. Felt like miles, absolute miles. And Red Rum came back and won the race. What I will do, I'll look, I mean, if there's any Scottish trained horses, yeah, my heart rules my head. But normally it's just like anybody else.
A day that remains a national treasure. Grand National Day at Aintree. Great to have you on board for this celebration of our sport and its brave participants. 70,000 here at Aintree. Hundreds of million watching around the globe. Get ready, everybody, for unscripted, captivating drama that can throw up everything from scintillating excitement to utter despair. It's a race that makes legends, but also shatters dreams. You three know exactly what it's like to win the race. And I'm going to start with you, actually, Ruby. It must have been some feeling, particularly winning for your dad.
It was the best feeling I ever had in sport, Ed. I had some great days, but to win on Papillon 25 years ago, what I wouldn't give to go back to 3 o'clock on that Saturday and live all the way to the following Tuesday again, they were just 3 of the greatest days I ever had.
It's a very different race these days. Some say it's too easy now and too comfortable to watch. What do you think?
Oh, well, look, all you've got to do is look at what happened yesterday in the Topham. Now, there was a faller in the Topham yesterday. You know, that kind of shows you the kind of race you have. It is less of a jumping test, but it still means that the best horse has got the best chance of winning the race.
And there's a lot of very good horses in it. As I said numerous times, the amount of Cheltenham Festival winners there is. There's two King George winners. What more do you want?
You're sticking with I Am Maximus?
I am.
Very
Definitely.
good. Now down behind me, Alice in her happy place, up close with the national horses.
You're so right, Ed. This is such a privilege to get to look at these 34 wonderful athletes up close. We're going to start with one of the champion trainer Willie Mullins' runners. This is number 26, Meeting of the Waters. If you had him last year, you'll remember he was travelling like an absolute beast going to the third last, and he emptied. Interestingly, Danny Mullins had the pick of him, and he's gone for him. He thinks with a year on his back, he will go closer and he will stay longer. Drop back here and have a look at number 12. This is Beauport. A lot of people really fancy this horse. Nigel Twiston-Davies has won this race twice, and his son Sam takes the ride on Beauport. He's won a Midlands National. They protected him. They've looked after him. They've kept the weight down on him. He's a young, progressive horse. He's a beauty, isn't he? 21 marches in behind. Richard Phillips, what a story this would be. He's a trainer in the Cotswolds. Him and his mate from primary school got together and bought this horse to run in the National. One of the owner's mothers was such a big fan of Red Rum that she actually won a competition and sat on him. This is a Grand National dream, having Ida's boy running in the big race. He is number 3. Look at him, Nick Rockett. Well, it says Mr., but don't be fooled. Patrick Mullins is no amateur. And this little horse, he's probably about the smallest horse in the field, but he's nimble. He jumps really well. And Patrick is an absolute maestro when it comes to getting horses jumping. Here, look, one's just popping in here. This is Grange Clare West. First time in a handicap, don't let that worry you, because he's been running in really classy races. He's got Brian Hayes on board, and he was second to none other than Gallopin Deschamps. Do you want to look at 23? Look at him. Wow, he's turned out so beautifully. This is Broadway Boy. He is an absolute stormer, isn't he? Another one trained by Nigel Twiston-Davies. Apple of his son Willie's eye. God, he is popping here in the sun.
Here's the 10 from 7 Syndicate, trying to give Nicky Henderson a first Grand National winner. And to be honest, if you wear a belt like that, you deserve to win a big prize.
It's confidence, Matt, isn't it?
He's a novice, but he's got loads of ability.
Well, he jumps and he stays, and that's all we want. You know, we're giving him every chance. We've laid him out this year for the race. He's backed up in 2 Grade 1s this year already, finishing second in both of them. He deserved to take his chance today. And yeah, he's coming off a half decent weight. He'll like the ground, as much dry as you want it. He's got a squeak.
Good luck.
Thank you, Matt.
Feels like we've been talking about this horse for a Grand National for years, if you follow us on ITV. This is Mogbeg Genius. He's trained by John Joe O'Neill. Although he was multiple champion jockey, he never managed to complete this great race. But as a trainer, he's already had a winner. Can Mogbeg Genius with Nick Schofield repeat that feat? 29 here. This is Horzantu Dory, trained in Newmarket. Newmarket's had 6 Grand National winners in the history of this great race, but the last one of those was none other than Golden Miller back in 1934. His trainer, Michael Keady, has never trained a winner over fences. Imagine if he does it here in the Grand National. 31, this is Celebre Dalen. Michael Nolan takes the ride for Philip Hobbs. Philip Hobbs has had placed efforts in the National, but this horse, he loves it here. He's jumped around these jumps 3 times and stayed up 3 times. Number 6, Manila Indo. Are you a Rachel Blackmore fan? If you are, this is your selection. 3rd in the race last year. Got the class to win a Gold Cup and has got the Queen of Aintree, Rachel Blackmore, on board. The only lady to have won this great race. Oh, I love this boy. This is Royal Pagaille, trained by Venetia Williams. She had Monmouth, do you remember? 100-1 winner of the National. He's classy, this boy. He's won 2 Grade 1s, but this sun will not have helped him. He's a mud lover. We haven't got mud today, that's for sure. 28, this is Vanillier. 2 years ago, he finished second in this race. Gavin Cromwell, who won the Gold Cup the other day, has got 3 runners in the race. He loves this horse. He finished down the field last year when very well fancied, but they've given him a different prep today. They put the blinkers on, and they're just quietly confident. 3 under 3.5. It is so good to see Paul Nicholls having a real crack at this race. We've been complaining about the Irish dominance, but the multiple champion Paul Nicholls runs 5 And 3 under through 5, one of the big chances. The McNeil family, who are such huge supporters, Max and his family here with about 20 mates. They've got 2 runners in the race, and this is one of them, fancied by an awful lot of people. Harry Skelton, whose dad Nick won a gold medal at the Olympics, takes the ride.
Well, here's Shark Hanlon, who's got Hewitt Shark very quickly. Nervous moments. 850 quid, you might be on the way to $1 million in a minute.
Be an awful help, wouldn't it? Pay some of the debt.
Shark, you're a gentle giant. You've won the King George, it's one of the most prestigious races in the calendar with this horse. Can he win the People's Race?
I hope he can. I think that the ground is have to come well in his favour. You need a lot of luck in this race, and if he has a bit of luck, it'll be a big help.
Well, as I say, you are the gentle giant of this sport. We wish you well.
Thank you. Thanks.
Shark, part of a strong Irish challenge again, but this time last year, as they get ready for the Anthem, we were bemoaning the lack of British runners. Yeah. They're back this year, and Paul Nicholls, as Alice said, great to see him with a strong hand.
Yeah, he's taken a swing really with a couple of them, I suppose. The likes of Hitman, you know, he's a horse. Well, he's probably likely to finish second. He's finished second in the last 3 runs. He's a quality horse, but stamina is a big issue for him. 3 under 2.5 won't lack for stamina though. He's a horse who does stay.
Here we go then, ahead of the race. It's time for the national anthem. Just before the trophy comes out with the jockeys. Back to Alice.
So this is Conflated, one of 5 for Gordon Elliott, who's won this race 3 times. He was the trainer of Tiger Roll, who won the race twice. Conflated, 11 years young now. Pick up number 17, another of the Greys. Only 3 Greys have won this race, as Ed told us, but we got 7 in here, and this is number 17, Can Do Kid, one of 5 for Paul Nicholls, but the choice of champion jockey Harry Cobden. He was so good at Newbury. I think he is really improving, and he'll love this ground. He'll bounce off it. Number 16, this is Percival Le Gallois, another one for Gavin Cromwell. I told you, he's got 3. And JP McManus bidding to become the winning most owner in this great race. He's won it 3 times. This would give him his 4th win. Mark Walsh already had a winner here this afternoon. Number 22, Phil Daw. Another of the Greys. If you're a Grey picker, you've got plenty of choice today. This one's for Gordon Elliott. We're going to have a look back here at number... Who's this? This is Hitman, another for Paul Nicholls. He's so tricky because he never seems to win a race, but he's been second in his last 3. They put the cheap pieces on. Here's Stay Away Faye, another one for Paul Nicholls. It's good to see, isn't it, that he's got so many in the race. Chantry House, Nicky Henderson, what a story this would be. 47 years he has tried to win this race. His first runner finished second. Since then, no luck. He's got 2 runners. Chantry House is one of them. They were going to retire him, and then he suddenly won at Cheltenham. He's big and he's bold and he'll jump well, that's for sure. Meeting of the Waters we've seen, but I want you to have a look at Iroko, because this is a huge chance for the British. Another one owned by JP McManus, but he's trained by Oliver Greenall and Josh Guerrera, and nobody has pretended anything other than the Grand National is this horse's target. He's a lean little athlete, isn't he? This horse has so much ability, but you need it now in the National. We had a Gold Cup winner, 2 King George winners. Is Iroko going to be this year's Grand National winner?
You can see at the bottom of your screen, Iroko, a 9-1 chance as the betting goes through. Alice, you are quite extraordinary. I cannot tell you how difficult that is to do, walking and talking about these horses with the cameraman going backwards. As now comes the moment as the jockeys make their way out. Let's pick out a few. Corbier's colours on the right, Beauport. Highlands colours on the left, Cheveley Park's colours, Grange Clare West, Manella Indo and Rachel Blackmore behind, Celebra Dalen Now the ever-blessed colours. Patrick Mullins riding for his dad on Nick Rockett. Hewitt's colours, the green. Nick Schofield. How many more nationals for him? Good luck, Nick. Here's Rich Ritchie silks for Royal Pagaille. Lots of the JP McManus silks. That's Danny Mullins away on the right. And Paul Townend will come out with the trophy. The real stars, let's be honest though, are the horses. Back to you, Al.
That is for sure, and here's Intense Raffles. I know, Ed, you'll really fancy this one in the double green, Intense Raffles. He is an Irish Grand National winner. That's a proven trial for this. And doesn't he look great? Here, drop back. Here's the reigning champ. It's I Am Maximus. Willie Mullins, look, he hasn't had a great season since he won this race last year. He's got a top weight. He's got to emulate Red Run. Can he do it? Who knows? We've seen Broadway Boy. We've seen Beauport. We've seen Ida's Boy. Ed, we'll just get reorganised and try and see some of the ones we've missed.
Here's Michael Keedy. He's going to try and win the Grasshopper. You've been training, 6 months? You've never had a winner over jumps before. Your missus rides this horse out, and she was born just down the road. Could you pull off arguably the biggest story in the history of the race?
It's the race of dreams, isn't it? And from years gone by, we've seen obviously Foynehaven, Moan won at 100 to 1, and I think we're pitching at 100 to 1 today. So we're dreaming, and fingers crossed you can just jump around safely, and anything more than that's a bonus.
That's Taranto Dury. We wish you all the best. Good luck.
Thank you, Matt.
I promise you, if this little horse wins this race, I think there'll be a movie made out of it. This is Hewitt. He cost £800. He's trained by Shark Handlin. He won the American Grand National. He won the King George. Look how tiny he is. Now, Gavin Sheehan, who rides him, we call him Gorgeous Gav. You wait till you see him. He is absolutely gorgeous. And he's already saying that although when he comes down to the first, little Hewitt probably won't see over the fence. He's got so much confidence in the class of this horse, and the sunshine on his back is a massive positive, Ed.
And I Am Maximus remains favourite, 6 to 1 and 13 to 2. But Percival La Galois, money for that 10 to 1 into 9 to 1. Stumptown 10 to 1. Aroko 10 to 1. Three Car Brack 14 to 1 from 25 to 1. But these people already have had their bets and they've had the best vantage point. Ladies, what have you backed?
Stumptown. Highland. Stumptown. Cocoa Beach. Number 32. Ridge Clare West. Dufflecoat.
All right, Rocco.
Nick Rockett.
Humiliate.
Stumptown.
Lots of different opinions. What have you backed?
Oh, I keep going on about the 7 greys. Here's another one of them. This is Highland. This is the ride of Nico de Boinville, who you saw winning yesterday on Jambon. This is Nicky Henderson's best chance in a long time of breaking that duck. He's got the most extraordinary career, Nicky Henderson, and now he's got a real life chance of adding the Grand National to it. He's 44 years, 6 times champion jockey, champion trainer, 75 Cheltenham Festival winners. But this great race is missing off his CV.
And as we look down from the helicopter, it's all much calmer after what happened 2 years ago when everything got very het up. There's less music, there's less razzmatazz, and it's a much calmer atmosphere. Alice, have you got more?
Well, I know, Ed, you wanted to, and lots of people wanted to see Stumptown. Gavin Cromwell's other runner. He's got 3, we've told you. This horse took the same path as Tiger Roll. He won the cross-country race at the Cheltenham Festival. He won it so easily, it was ridiculous. He looks great. He's got a lovely shiny coat. We know Gavin's horses are in good form. He won the Gold Cup. He's got 3 chances today. Here, look, Dufflecoat. We haven't seen him, Ed. Another one of the greys. I'm going to get boring about my grey statistics, aren't I? 3 greys have won it. And this one is trained by Gordon Elliott, 3 times winner of this race. If you're a Sean Bone fan, who's our champion jockey elect, here he comes to get the leg up on 3 Card Bragg. Owned again by the McNeil family. I told you about Max McNeil, absolutely massive fans. Sean, very best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Go for it, mate.
Sean Flanagan is about to get up on Vanillier. Sean, this horse has been here, he's done it, he's run pretty well. You must be very hopeful.
Yeah, look, he's been and said, and he's done it, and he's in a lot better form this year, we think, than he was last year coming into the race. So, fingers crossed.
And he was a little bit unlucky at Cheltenham.
We'll go with a little bit. I'll take it a little bit.
Good luck.
Thank you. Best luck.
So now the jockeys will get aboard and then head out onto the track. They'll have a look at the first fence. Luke's waiting for them down there, and then the start these days happens pretty quickly. Right, I want a line on each of the main contenders from you guys, and basically for people at home, yes or no. Mick Fitzgerald, I am Maximus. Yes. Say no more. Royal Piguy, Adele.
No,
The ground too quick.
I think so, yeah. He's quite a big horse.
Ruby, one of Willie Mullins's, Nick Rockett.
I'm with him, Ed. I think he's great value there with the price he's with.
You like Grange Clare West, don't you?
Yeah, big drifter, but I like him, classy horse.
Mick Hewick.
Got a chance. The ground is drying. It's coming in his favour.
Then Ruby, Manila Indo, Rachel Blackmore.
Don't think he's enough runs this year, Ed. He faded last year off a 130-day break, and 2 runs this year isn't enough for me.
I'm going to stay with you, Ruby, for Appreciate It.
Don't think he'll get the trip.
Manila Kakuna, Adele.
No. I'm going to say no, and I'm not quite sure why. I respect his form, but he didn't do it for me in the paddock.
Just going through shot there. Conflated, Mick.
Is he a horse of old? I think the horse of old will be a player, but he seems to have struggled to find that form.
AP, Stumptown.
Yeah, classy horse, Ed. Very impressed with the cross country race at Cheltenham. Definitely got a chance.
Coming through is Hitman, then another of JP's, Iroko for John Joe O'Neill. Good luck to the local trainers, Messrs Greenall and Guerrero. On the right is Kando Kid, one of the greys. On the left is Intense Raffles. Now, JJ Slevin hasn't had a winner for 74 days, 80 rides since the 21st of January. His confidence can't be too high as everyone tries to get a vantage point for the race. And Luke has a great spot.
Yeah, there's Charlie Deutsch, Roper, Guy Highland on the outside. All the jockeys wanting the horses to get right up close to the fence. There's Beauport right down on the inside there. They're giving the horses a pat as the other runners just come on down. You can see others, the jockeys just keeping their horses up together as they come down to this fence. There's Johnny picked up this really good ride on Manila Kakuna. You can see him just having a look. I've never known Aintree so busy down here. The embankment's absolutely crowded down here. Jockeys, there's number 24. Here comes little Hewick. Gavin Sheehan on board. Last time we rode him was in the King George. Look how tiny he is. They're not the biggest fences, but little Hewick, pat down the neck for him.
Yes, I am Maximus 6-1, but generally 11-2, shortening all the while. Iroko 13-2. Stumptown and Percival Lagalwa. Percival back out to 10-1 again. More money for Vanellier from 16-1 into 11-1. Three-car Bragg 14-1. Manila Kakuna 16-1. Meeting of the Waters 16-1. Many of the major bookmakers now prices contracting late on. Highland is 18-1. Nick Rockett for Patrick Mullins is 20-1. Manila Endo for Rachel is 22-1.
Good luck to Max McNeil, how he'd love to win the race. There are his colours, the blue and white stripes with the red sleeves. Now they'll make their way back to the start and hopefully get away first time. Still one in the chute, I believe, yet to come out on the track, and it's Brave Man's Game, number 13, who hasn't won since the 2022 King George, James Reevely. Over to ride for Paul Nicholls, who's won the National twice. The rest are down the start. Let's pick up with some of the fancied runners then. Mick, Beauport.
Oh, he's definitely got a chance. Just has a tendency to jump to the right. If he doesn't do that, he's a major player.
Chantry House, yes or no this time, maybe?
I think he's got a better chance than Highland.
And he's kicking out Brave Man's Game. That's why you have to be so careful. If you're with us on New Year's Day, you remember AP gave Chantry House no chance.
I know, and he won. But actually, Ed, he looks really well going around. He's I don't know what price he's 80-1 or something. I think there is worse 80-1.
He jumped well. He jumped well the other day, champ.
Yeah. I think he's got a genuine. I think he's got a better chance than Highland.
I am Maximus has seen the first fence. He'll rejoin the field. On we go then. 3 under through 5. Adele.
Yeah, I think he's got an each way chance. I really like this horse's profile. He's won 10 of his 24 starts. So yeah, each way.
Gavin Cromwell looking to do the Gold Cup National double. He has JP's Percival Legalois, AP.
Yeah, has won handicap hurdles and handicap chases. Yeah, he's got lots of racing experience, and Ruby says that you need that to win a modern day Grand National.
Look at them already, Ed. The start. Well, you're worried about the start. These guys think they're going now.
You've seen Can Do Kid. Oroko's been very well back now, 7-1 AP.
Looks very well walking around the paid ring. He's very fit, Adele, isn't he? He looked
fit.
Ruby, I mentioned JJ Slevin. Do you lose your confidence in a situation like that?
I'd say no, Ed, with the atmosphere at Aintree today, I'd say JJ's 11. Doesn't matter who rode the winner of the last race, I can't remember it down at the start of the Grand National, so no, I wouldn't be too worried about that.
The Rhinos colours we've talked about on a number of occasions, Mick. Broadway boy.
Definitely a player. If he can recapture the form he showed when finishing second in the Ladbrokes Trophy. He struggled last time, though. That's a worry.
He looked really good in his coat.
The weights, and again over the last couple of days, Willie keeps talking about meeting of the waters. Why?
Yeah, he travelled really well in the race last year. It looked like he didn't stay, but Willie said it might be age and it might, more race experience, a bit of age, and maybe. So, who are we to doubt Willie Mullins? He kept going back to him a few times. So, what more do you want than Willie Mullins giving him his vote of confidence?
The O'Neills for Nick Schofield, Monbeg Genius. Adele.
An each way chance, I think, at best. Obviously, probably because he was fourth in a Welsh national. So each way.
Vanillier, Mick.
Definitely a player on his second here previously.
The new favourite, Brian.
New favourite, Iroko 13, the two favourite for the national. I Am Maximus will start. He won it last year.
So they've got to have a standing start, and they're still ahead of time, but they do have to go to the tapes and stop. On the outside, 3 under through 5 is a little bit awkward, but they are approaching in a pretty good line here. 10 seconds to go. Watch is being checked. They're going to arrive there spot on, and they're in a good line here, and they're bang on time, and they've gone. Perfect start, fair play. As they race towards the first, I Am Maximus is one of those towards the inside. 3-car Bragg is towards the centre of the racecourse. 3 under through 5 is wide out. Also, as they race down towards the first. So wide across the course, Can Do Kids not that far away as well. So they head towards the first of 30. And Mark Johnson.
I Am Maximus right through on the inside, takes that one cleanly. Broadway Boy led them over it. Monbeg Genius was the back marker, and all 34 are safely over the first, with Broadway Boy leading Duffel Coat and Senior Chief as they go now towards fence number 2. Broadway Boy already clear by a couple of lengths as they go over that. 3-car Bragg made a little bit of a mistake. Stumptown made a worse mistake. Cocoa Beach already dropping towards the tail of the field. Broadway Boy takes them over the open ditch fence number 3 to Hewitt, who took it in second place. They have lost Duffel Coat there, who's unseated the rider at the third. He's the first one out of the race. Jockeys quickly up. Broadway Boy takes them over the fourth to Hewitt, who was over in second. Out wide, 3 under through 5 is making up a little bit of ground as we go down to Stuart Machin.
And right back in last place, Cocoa Beach, the grey, made a mistake at the fourth. So on towards the fence before Beaches, and it's Broadway Boy on the near side. Spring Heel came up well over 3-car Bragg in the black and green. Hewitt out in the centre to 3 under through 5 and Beauport in the light blue. And then Hitman and Brave Man's Game and Nick Rockett and Manila Kakuna as they make the run towards Beaches. Broadway Boy going to take it in a clear lead. Manoeuvres towards the inner, jumps it well, lands ahead of 3-car Bragg. Leaders are over neatly enough. Again, Cocoa Beach is the last to land, and they move on towards Foynehaven fence 7. Broadway Boy leading the national field, went through the top of it, but had a 3-length advantage over 3-car Bragg, followed over by Hewitt and Beauport in the light blue, and then 3 under through 5 and Brave Man's Game and an orange jacket and Hitman and Senior Chief and I Am Maximus just in front of it as they come to the canal turn. Broadway Boy, 3-car Bragg, Hewitt over in third, 3 under through 5 Beauport, Brave Man's Game meanwhile back in midfield, Ida's Boy, Manila, Indo, Fedor. They've all cleared the canal turn. Monbeg Genius is a long way back with Appreciated and Cocoa Beach over Valentine's and back to Mark.
We've lost Percival Legal, who has gone at that as they go on now towards the next. It's Broadway Boy with 3-car Bragg on the inside. Hewitt is right up there with Brave Man's Game towards the outside of 3 under through 5. A peck then by Hitman, who's racing alongside Aranzo Derry. They're followed then towards the inside by Manila Kakuna, who's racing in advance of Senior Chief. Vanillier just in behind I Am Maximus as they go over that next fence, at which Appreciate it was very slow. Cocoa Beach has got himself tailed off. Intense Raffles is also tailed off, and now they're going over the last fence down this section. This will be the third from home in one more circuit, and Broadway Boy has led them just about every step of the way so far in what's now becoming a well-strung out field. Monbeg Genius, another one who drops the back of the pack. It is Broadway Boy who leads the way to Hewitt towards the outside, who races in second. Now Beauport is getting much closer in very pale blue colours. He's through to take third, followed next on the inside by 3-car Bragg, but still many of them going as now they link up with the main course proper and back to Richard Hoyles.
Yeah, I think we may have as many as 32 still standing at this stage, and out in the lead it's Broadway Boy from Beauport, 3-card Bragg towards the inside of Hewick, then behind these Brave Man's Game and Nick Rockett. Grange Clare West in the red, white and blue. Towards the outside of the field is 3 under through 5 as they approach the line of fences that culminates in the chair and the water jump. And Broadway Boy it is who leads them over it. Broadway Boy from 3-car back, Beauport travelling strongly, Brave Man's Game and Hewick, and they're the front 5. Nick Rockett comes next with Grange Clare West, Ronso Dairy, Hitman and Red Cap of Chantry House towards the inside. Iron Maximus has gone the inside route as well with Manila Kakuna. Celebra Delen is in midfield. Amongst those that are really labouring, Royal Pagai's a long way behind. Cocoa Beach is also quite a long way towards the tail of the field as they make their way up towards the chair. It's Broadway Boy. It is who'll approach it. Broadway Boy who has the lead from 3-card Bragg as they all step foot over it, watching the stragglers over it, but it appears clean, although at the back Cocoa Beach was pulled up before taking the chair. As towards the water jump, Broadway Boy leads Beauport right in front of the sunbathed crowd. Stepping over it in 3rd place was 3-card Bragg. Again, the stragglers are over. A slight mistake by Monbeck Genius. Royal Pagai is tailed off, so turning away. Broadway Boy has the lead in the national from 3-card Bragg. Hewick behind these is Beauport, then towards the inside Brave Man's Game. Nick Rockett comes next. Ronso Dairy, senior chief in that little group as well. Hitman is just behind the leaders, and they are about the leading 10 or 11. Grange Clare West, Celebra Delen, Chantry House on the outside of Manila Indo. Iroko's noseband spotted in midfield at this stage. Meeting of the waters in there. Royal Pagai was pulled up before going out on that circuit as they make their way on towards the next. And Mark Johnson, Intense Raffles, just pulled up as they take the first on the 2nd circuit.
Broadway Boy on the inside, the 3-card Bragg. These are still the first 2. Brave Man's Game is there in 3rd with Hewick and Beauport towards their outside. Hitman is also prominent but very wide together with 3 under through 5. Iron Maximus jumped that fence and around about 7th or 8th, just racing at the moment alongside Manila Kakuna and also Grange Clare West. They're going now towards the open ditch. Broadway Boy's lead is less than a length now over 3-card Bragg, who took it in 2nd place. A slightly slow jump there by Iron Maximus, pushed along for the first time now by Paul Townend. They go now towards the next. Broadway Boy has got the lead over 3-card Bragg, who will rise in 2nd. Beauport towards the outside in 3rd. On the run back down towards Beechers. Once again back to Stewart.
So heading on towards fence 21, Broadway Boy giving a lead to 3-card Bragg and Beauport and Brave Man's Game and Hewick in the green, and then Ronso Dairy running a big race at a big price. Hitman is out wide from Grange Clare West, and Can Do Kid is a faller and has brought down Appreciated. Can Do Kid and Appreciated have both gone. Slightly impeded was Conflated. Stay Away Faye is a long way back. They're moving on now towards Beechers for the 2nd time. Broadway Boy on the inner, joined by 3-card Bragg, Beauport, Brave Man's Game, Manila Kakuna, Grange Clare West, Hewick, followed over by Celeb Delan. Stay Away Faye has been pulled up at the back of the field. 3 under through 5 has also been pulled up. The leaders are over Foynaver, Broadway Boy, Brave Man's Game in the orange, and then 3-card Bragg and Beauport and Hewick, who races out wide. Grange Clare West down on the inner, followed by Manila Kakuna as they come to the canal turn. Then Senior Chief with Ronso Dairy. Broadway Boy over the canal turn to 3-card Bragg and Brave Man's Game. Hewick made a bad mistake, but he managed to keep his feet. Monbeck Genius and Stump Town to the last 2 still going. Ida's Boy's a long way back with Vanillier over Valentine's. Broadway Boy crashes out when in front. Brave Man's Game was hampered, and we rejoin Mark.
And that means that on the inside it is now Celebra Delen, who's right up there to go with Beauport, and 3-card Bragg towards the outside. Those are the first 3. Brave Man's Game was over in 4th. Pulled up at the back of the field is Hitman, and now they're going on towards the final open ditch with Beauport in the light blue coming through to take the lead to in 2nd place over that towards his outside. Celeb Delen, and then Grange Clare West is racing in 3rd. 3-card Bragg followed next to the field by Brave Man's Game, and then Senior Chief, and pulled up at the back of the field is Monbeck Genius. This is the 3rd from home. Beauport got very low. Good jump there by Celeb Delen and Miho Nolan, who have now taken the lead as they're about to go over the Anchor Bridge crossing. So it's Celeb Delen and Beauport, Grange Clare West towards the inside, who are the first 3. Brave Man's Game towards the outside of Manila Kakuna next to the field. They're then being followed by Hewick, who races towards the outside of Senior Chief. Also getting closer towards the inside is Meeting of the Waters. And now the conclusion of the Randox Grand National with Richard Hoyles.
About 15 in this leading bunch as they race towards the 2nd large out. Grange Care West, red, white and blue, Celebrita Len, and angled out to have a crack at the Minella Kakuna. All the time, Meeting of the Waters is sneaking into its Senior Chief, Brave Man's Game. I Am Maximus down the outside. Nick Rockett travelling well. Then Hewick, and behind these Iroko. 2 out in the National. I Am Maximus coming there with Nick Rockett, who still travels strongly. Minella Kakuna, Grange Clare West, Meeting of the Waters and Iroko. Senior Chief and Brave Man's Game down towards the last in the National. I Am Maximus on the outside of Nick Rockett. Grange Clare West a mistake on the inside, likewise Minella Kakuna. Meeting of the Waters pulled out to have a crack at the front two. They head towards the elbow. Nick Rockett, I Am Maximus, bidding to retain his crown. Meeting of the Waters, Grange Clare West and Minella Kakuna. Nick Rockett for Patrick Mullins, trying to see off I Am Maximus for Paul Townend. Up towards the final 150 yards. Nick Rockett hanging tough. I Am Maximus in second. Grange Clare West in third. And up towards the line, it's Nick Rockett's Grand National for amateur Patrick Mullins. Beats in a second, I Am Maximus, Grange Clare West. A 1-2-3 for Willie Mullins. Iroko, Meeting of the Waters, Senior Chief, Minella Kakuna, Hewitt, Minella Indo, Twigs got round. So's 3 Card Bragg, likewise Beauport, Aronso Dairy, Vanilla, Brave Man's Game. And then behind these, Chantry House, who is the last to finish. 33 to 1 chance. Nick Rockett, winner of the Bobby Joe. The race that horse went on to win the National after winning, has seen them all off for Patrick Mullins, and the wins for Willie Mullins. I Am Maximus, such a valiant bid in second place. Grange Clare West ran a mighty race as well, so 3 of the top 4 in the handicap. A 1-2-3 for Willie Mullins, keeps him with a chance of being champion trainer. 4th across the line is Iroko, best of the home bunch. Extra places, Meeting of the Waters, again didn't quite see it out. Big Run Senior Chief and Minella Kakuna as the Irish once again dominate. And they are the first 7 home. We'll see if we just give you an 8 if we can, because there is 8 places, and that went to Hewick. 8 places with some. So Hewick is 8th across the line. 1, 2, 3, 5 for Willie Mullins. What a terrific performance to round off a week. Patrick Mullins, he's amateur by name, he's anything but amateur in nature, and he's won the National on Nick Rockett.
With his son on board, who dismounts, there'll be lots of water, they'll keep the horses on the move. A father and son combination on a race, Ruby. We'll remember, this is Dickinson-esque. Willie Mullins had 5 of the first 7.
It's incredible, Ed, and I hope Patrick Mullins gets as much enjoyment out of riding the Grand National winner for his dad as I did. Jackie and Willie have been so good to him, and he's so good to them. This is magic, and it is for sure Andrews too. He lost his wife Sadie after this horse won a bumper. She wanted a horse with Willie Mullins. I spent 2 Novembers in Australia with Stuart, and I didn't know Sadie, but if you listen to Stuart talking about her, I'm sorry I didn't know. But this is absolutely magic for them all as people.
For the Andrew family, my goodness, well explained, Ruby, extraordinary. It was Stuart who was convinced by his wife Sadie, as you say, to send the horse to Willie Mullins. They did Holy Communion together. He's won races en route here, like the Thyestes and Bobby Joe, and we have a father and son winner of the National, like the Walshes back in 2000 and Papillon. Patrick Mullins has won the National.
That sounds very, very good. Patrick Mullins has won the National.
I'm too out of breath to say anything. Incredible.
You're a man of the most eloquent words, but this is extraordinary. We've got the winning owner here, so emotional.
Well done. You've done it.
You've done it.
Stuart.
Stuart, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I don't want to... Sorry.
Talk us through the ride, though.
She was just perfect. Actually, got too good a start, and I was having to take him back all the way, and I was wondering the canal turn had I lost too much ground. But then he just jumped fantastic, and then I was there too soon. And then it was a long way from the back of the last, and Paul Townend on the outside. So it's everything I've dreamed about since I was a kid. It's a cliche, but when I was 5 or 6 years old, I remember reading books about the National and watching black and white videos of Red Rum and the like. So to put my name there is incredibly special.
You are part of the biggest racing machine that this sport has ever seen, but you have just won the Grand National for your dad. Your family has so much history with this sport, but you to put your name in there as part of it is quite extraordinary.
But to be honest, the most important thing is that David and Emmett had already won it. So I had them level with them, so poor Danny has to get his finger out now.
So your horse, he was hot, so we've taken him off to get washed off. It's the best thing for him, just it's a hot day today, but he was absolutely fine.
He's fine, I wouldn't mind going for a cold bath now myself, but he's just a brilliant horse. He's not very big, he'd be one of the smallest in the fields. He's 50 or 60 kilos lighter than the rest of our national horses today, but he's brave as a lion.
Patrick, you are incredible. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, Alice. Thank you.
Well, here is the legend Willie Mullins, who's had a 1-2-3-5 in the Randox Grand National. Willie, that was some result.
Some result, yeah.
You've done most things in sport. You're champion of Britain, you're champion of Ireland, but even you appear to need to pinch yourself about this.
Yeah, well, to be able to leg your son.
Willie, take a moment. Tell us the emotion that's going through now. Why does this mean so much to you? Patrick, the winning owners.
It's lovely to be able to give your son a ride in the National, but I should be able to win it. Just unbelievable.
We'll come back in a minute, Willie. Yeah. Willie Mullins. Wow.
Well, Mick, you said he'd be emotional. Yeah. To have your son win the Grand National for you in memory of Sadie. And there's the owner there on the left. And he said, after she died, he said, out of such sadness, such joy has been born. Nick Rockett has done it all for me.
Oh, unbelievable. But as well, how often have you seen Willie Mullins, that emotional? Imagine being a father able to give your son a Grand National win. Unbelievable.
This is a first in the Grand National. The winning owner is carrying in
the jockey.
The winning jockey.
Wonderful.
Magic.
Brilliant. Just brilliant.
Amazing.
Sam Whaley-Cohen won this as an amateur, but this Patrick Mullins is ludicrously talented.
As
a jockey,
you can see how emotional Willie Mullins was. Just Ruby said, I hope Patrick Mullins takes it in. Willie Mullins hasn't half taken it in. That's how much it's affected him. But amazing from
There's Mum Jackie. How proud she must be. So the winning horse has gone to be cooled off. They have amazing protocols in place here with fans in the shade there, all the water that's needed, because it is warm this afternoon. So the winner and lots of other horses. Katie Walton will be with her pride and joy. She led up Nick Rockett today, and it's all prepared here. There's been a lot of talk about the welfare and no stone being left unturned. Jackie Mullins, wife and mum of Grand National winners. I was saying how talented he is. He can write, Patrick. He won an HWP award for his writing. He became a dad recently, and partner Sarah, I'm sure, is watching this.
That's his other half.
And he's become the 33rd amateur to win a Grand National. Nick Rockett won the big one at 33-1 for Willie Mullins. Second was I Am Maximus for Willie Mullins. Third was Grange Clare West for Willie Mullins. Fourth was Iroko, the locally trained horse at 13-2. He went off favourite Iroko in the end. Fifth was Meeting of the Waters for Willie Mullins at 20-1. Sixth was not Willie Mullins, but he came seventh for good measure as well. The Willie Mullins Grand National.
Unbelievable.
Everyone's taking that in, really, trying to sum up his achievement. Extraordinary.
We should just say, those horses are being taken off to be washed down, cooled down as well. And remember, the care that these horses get as well. The vets that are on hand straight away. If you're a human, you go to triage when you go to hospital, and you have to wait in line, depending on the seriousness of your injury. No such worries for horses. They get immediate treatment straight away.
This is all about the winning owner too.
What can I say? Well, here's Stuart. Stuart, just remind our viewers why this is just such an emotional success for you.
Well, Nick Rockett wanted my horse. It was my wife's horse. And she wanted a horse in training with Willie. She had a Holy Communion with him. We bumped into him by chance at Cheltenham Sales and he says, well, why don't we get Willie to buy a horse for us? I said, well, if you want to get Willie to buy a horse, say to buy a horse. And she did. Sadly, just before he were ready to run, well, if truth be known, she'd probably been on the phone chewing Willie's ear off, right, to run him at Fairy House for my 60th birthday. And I think Willie really didn't want to do because the horse wasn't ready. When we found out that she'd terminal cancer on the 17th of November, sadly she passed away on the 8th, but Willie ran